I am that I am. This was the answer God gave when Moses asked for his name. These 4 words have echoed through the centuries, crossed generations, and still today hold a profound mystery that few truly grasp. What could God have meant by this? Was it merely a symbolic way to assert his divinity, or is there a hidden key, a code of creation left by the Creator himself, so that humanity could learn to manifest his image and likeness? What would happen if you discovered that this very creative force, the one that shaped the heavens, the earth, and everything that exists, is alive within you? That every time you say, I am, you are activating the same power that set the universe in motion at the beginning of time? Pause for a moment. What if everything you have said about yourself, whether consciously or unconsciously, has been sketching the reality you live today, day after day? This revelation is deeper than it appears. Because I am is not just a phrase, it is a spiritual decree. It is the sound of creation in action. And when you understand this, the world never looks the same again. It's as if suddenly the curtain is pulled back, and you see with clarity that nothing happens by chance, that everything is a reflection of consciousness, and that the true power to change anything in your life begins exactly where you once saw only weakness, within yourself. This is what you're about to discover, the creative power hidden behind the words you use every day, the secret that Emmett Fox, one of the great masters of modern spirituality, called the science of divine thought. He taught that when a person declares I am, they are acknowledging the presence of God within themselves. And this presence, when invoked with faith and understanding, begins to reorganize all of reality around them, attracting what is in harmony with that vibration. But what happens to those who say, I am weak, I am unlucky, I am poor? These declarations are also heard, and the universe responds on the same frequency. Because the law is neutral, it simply returns to you the reflection of what you believe yourself to be. And here is the most astonishing part. When you change what you declare about yourself, you change the invisible structure that sustains your world. Now, imagine what would occur if, instead of repeating your limitations, you began to affirm with conviction, I am light, I am abundance, I am guided by divine wisdom. These are not mere motivational phrases. They are creative decrees, keys that align your mind with the limitless field of possibilities of the spirit. Prepare yourself, because this message goes far beyond what you've heard about the law of attraction. We are not just talking about positive thoughts or visualizations. We are talking about the original language of the Creator, the language that gives form to matter, that transforms impossibilities into miracles, and that can completely change the course of your life when used with awareness. Throughout this video, you will understand how this truth was taught in the scriptures, revealed in the words of Jesus, and explained by masters like Emmett Fox. You will discover that the divine energy is not distant, but responds directly to the words that leave your mouth, and that there is a practical, spiritual, and emotionally powerful way to declare I am, and see the impossible manifest before your very eyes. But before we continue, I want to ask you for something simple, which makes all the difference in helping this message reach more people who need to awaken to this truth. If this theme resonates with you, if what you are feeling now touches something in your heart, click like and subscribe to the channel. This helps the message expand and allows more people to learn to use the creative power God placed within each of us. And there's more. If you feel ready to take the next step, to truly dive into this journey of conscious manifestation, and understand how to apply all of this in your daily life, click the link in the first pinned comment. There, I have prepared something special, a way for you to access a profound knowledge about divine manifestation that has already transformed many lives. Now take a deep breath, because what comes next will challenge everything you believed about faith, prayer, and the power of words. You will understand why God introduced himself as I am and what that truly signifies when you say the same thing. And in the end, the most powerful revelation of all will show you how to use this knowledge practically to completely transform your life, spiritually, emotionally, and materially. So stay until the end. Because once you comprehend the true meaning of I am, you will never again doubt the power that exists within you. When God told Moses, I am that I am, he didn't just reveal his name. He revealed the secret of creation, the essence of existence, the vibrational code that sustains everything that is. Every atom, every star, every breath, it all springs from the same principle, the consciousness that declares I am. And, mysteriously, this very power was placed inside you. Most people live believing their words are just sounds, simple expressions of thoughts. But they are not. Words are vibrations. They are waves of energy that shape the reality around you. Jesus said, "The words I speak to you are spirit and they are life." This means that what you pronounce does not die when it is spoken. It lives, it creates, it transforms. And when you say I am, you are not just talking about yourself. You are decreeing. You are activating the same power that the Creator himself used to give form to the universe. Emmett Fox explained that I am is the name of God in action within a human being. He would say, when you say I am, you are using the name of God and determining what he should express through you. Realize what this means. Every time you say I am, you are literally summoning the divine presence within you to manifest in the form you have chosen. If you say I am prosperous, the divine within you begins to organize the circumstances of your life to reflect prosperity. But if you say I am a failure, this same creative force, obedient and neutral, begins to create situations that confirm this. Therefore, I am is the most sacred point of creative power. It is the seed of manifestation. It is where everything begins, even before thought, before action, before matter. Creation originates in the I am. And didn't you think about it? God did not say, I will be. He said, I am, because the power of creation is not in the future, it is in the present. Every time you say, I am, you anchor yourself in the now, the instant where divine power acts. And it is in the now that the invisible becomes visible. The Bible is clear when it states we were created in the image and likeness of God. This means the same creative principle that exists in him exists in us. You are not a separate being trying to reach something distant. You are part of the divine consciousness that creates, expands, and manifests continuously. When you grasp this, the way you speak, think, and react changes completely. But here is the point few realize. Most people use I am unconsciously. They say, I'm tired, I'm sick, I am unlucky, I am anxious, without realizing they are literally giving creative orders to the divine presence within themselves. And then they wonder why their life doesn't change. But how could it change if the decree remains the same? The law faithfully responds to the vibration you emit. It does not distinguish between good or bad, right or wrong. It simply reflects. Just as a mirror does not argue with the image you present, reality does not judge what you affirm. It simply returns it. When Jesus said, I am the light of the world, he was not referring only to himself, but showing all of us the path, the consciousness of unity with the Creator. He was saying, the same I am that dwells in me dwells in you. And when you awaken to this truth, you begin to understand that your words have the same power to turn the light on or off in your own reality. Imagine I am as a spiritual password. Each time you pronounce it, something within you opens, a silent, pure, infinite force, and it merely awaits your direction. If you say, I am healed, the divine energy moves in that direction. If you say, I am guided, the path begins to reveal itself. But if you say, I am confused, The same creative power immerses itself in confusion. This is why the conscious use of I am is one of the most transformative practices in existence. It is not a repetition technique, but an awakening of identity. You are not affirming something to try to believe it. You are declaring who you truly are in essence. And when your heart aligns with what you declare, the universe responds instantly. Emmett Fox used to say that consciousness is the only reality. This means the external world is merely a reflection of what is occurring internally. If you want to change your life, you need to change what you believe yourself to be. And nothing changes consciousness more rapidly than the words I am, because they act as a direct command to the subconscious mind and to the spirit. Now, think for a moment. How many times have you described yourself negatively without realizing it? How many times have you said, I am terrible with money, I am disorganized, I am incapable? Each of these phrases is a decree that transforms into experience. But when you awaken and begin to declare, I am capable, I am blessed, I am abundance in action, the field around you begins to reorganize. People appear, ideas emerge, paths open up, because the energy responds to the new pattern you are emitting. And this isn't theory, this is spiritual law. Emmett Fox explained that I am is the point of contact between the human and the divine. When you say I am, the God within begins to operate, but he doesn't act for you, he acts through you. Therefore, when you say I am, you are literally becoming the channel for divine manifestation on earth. Have you ever noticed that in most biblical stories, the miracle begins with a shift in consciousness? Moses needed to hear, I am, to find the courage to free his people. Abraham had to believe, I am blessed to become the father of a nation. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life, even before the miracle happened. They all understood the same truth. Creative power manifests after consciousness changes, not before. And this is exactly what you can start doing right now. You don't need to wait for everything to be perfect to start declaring who you are in God. Start now, in the midst of confusion, pain, and uncertainty. Say, I am the presence of God in action in my life. Repeat it until you feel something shift inside you, because change always begins within before it appears without. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time, feeling like nothing is working out, that doors are closed, that promises seem distant. But what if this phase is just a divine invitation for you to remember who you are? What if, at the exact moment you stand up and declare, I am strong, the invisible energies of the universe begin to move to confirm it? This is the power of the decree. It is the point where faith becomes reality. And when you understand this, even your prayer changes. You stop asking God as if he were outside, and you start aligning with him inside you. You stop saying, Lord, help me, and start affirming, I am the divine strength in me. And suddenly, what once seemed impossible begins to happen naturally. It's not magic. It's the conscious application of divine law, because, as Emmett Fox said, thought is the mold and feeling is the fuel. When you declare I am with faith and feel the truth of those words, you are igniting the creative spark that turns the invisible into the visible. So, when you go to sleep tonight, observe what you are saying before you drift off. Your last words are seeds. If you say, I am protected, I am guided, I am loved, you are programming your subconscious to create a new reality while you sleep. And if you feel you want to go deeper into this, to learn how to turn these words into daily practice and fully open the flow of divine manifestation, click the link in the first pinned comment. There you will find a path to awaken your creative power in a guided and practical way. Because I am is not just an idea, it is a living presence, and this presence begins to move when you call it by name. The entire universe listens, and when you declare I am, heaven responds. So start now. Declare with conviction, with faith, with love, I am the divine power in action. And watch, because from this moment on, something inside and outside of you will begin to change, and what was once only hope will become living experience. You are not trying to create something new. You are simply remembering who you have always been. And when this remembrance awakens, miracles become your natural state. When you understand the true meaning of I am, something inside you changes forever. It's as if an invisible door swings open, revealing that the power you were seeking outside has always been there, right at the center of your being. Suddenly, it all makes sense. The words you speak, the emotions you nurture, the thoughts you choose. Each of these elements is part of your creation. You realize you were never a victim of circumstances, but the author of the invisible script that moves your life. This is the revelation many spend their whole lives searching for, the awareness that you are a co-creator with God. And this is not about spiritual arrogance, but about recognizing the divine truth Jesus tried to teach us. You are God's. You are all children of the Most High. These words are not a metaphor, they are a remembrance of what we forgot when we let fear, doubt, and guilt extinguish the light of our divine origin. I am is the return to that light. It is the reunion with the presence of God within you. When you say I am, the entire universe listens, but more than that, it responds. And it responds according to what you feel, believe, and vibrate. So never say I am in vain, because when you utter these words, you are calling creative force into action. You are the temple where the divine dwells. And every time you say I am, it is as if you are turning on the light inside that temple. If you declare I am love, the light of love fills every space. If you say I am peace, chaos begins to dissolve. If you affirm I am prosperous, the energy of abundance starts to move in your direction. But if you say I am limited, I am unworthy, I am unlucky, you are extinguishing that light with your own hands. Realize how sacred this is. God entrusted you with His own name. He could have kept the secret of creation for Himself, but He chose to share it with humanity as a gesture of infinite love. And what does He ask in return? Only that you remember, that you use this power with consciousness, with gratitude, and with faith. Emmett Fox stated that life's transformation begins the moment a person changes what they think about themselves. And that's what I am does. It reprograms your spiritual identity. Because the world doesn't change when you try to fix the outside. It changes when you remember who you are on the inside. And when you change within, everything outside must respond. It is inevitable. I am is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between spirit and matter, between faith and manifestation. Perhaps you have spent years believing you couldn't, that you didn't deserve it, that you weren't enough. Perhaps you heard people telling you that you weren't capable, that your dreams were too big. But now you know, none of those voices define who you are. The only voice that creates is the one that comes from within, the one that says with conviction and love, I am. And that voice is powerful enough to remake the past, heal the present, and open a new future. When you begin to use it consciously, the impossible becomes common. Situations align, paths are revealed, answers arrive. Because I am is the very energy of God flowing through you. So the next time you look in the mirror, don't just see the reflection of someone seeking something. See the divine presence looking back at you and say, with the certainty of one who recognizes their origin, I am the presence of God in me. Repeat it until you feel this truth take over every cell, every thought, every beat of your heart. Because when I am becomes the center of your consciousness, fear loses its power. Scarcity dissolves, pain finds purpose, and you begin to live in a new state of being, the state of continuous creation, where every word is a seed and every thought is an instrument of the divine. Everything you see in the physical world began with an invisible declaration, and now you hold the same tool in your hands. Don't wait for circumstances to change to affirm who you are. Affirm, and the circumstances will change. Declare, I am the light of my path. Declare, I am guided by divine wisdom. Declare, I am blessed in all that I do. And watch, the universe will reorganize itself to confirm every one of these words. Remember, energy follows attention. What you affirm, you activate. What you repeat, you reinforce. And what you feel with faith, you manifest. This is the law, the same law that sustained the prophets, that guided Jesus, that inspired Emmett Fox. And today, this same law is alive within you, ready to respond to your voice. There are no limits for one who declares, I am, with faith. Because in the instant you say these words, the Holy Spirit, the creative breath, begins to act. And what seemed distant begins to draw near. What seemed impossible begins to materialize. God has not withdrawn. He is there, listening to every word that leaves your mouth, ready to manifest His own power through you. So from this day forward, watch your words. Let them not be outbursts of fear, but declarations of power. Let every I am be an altar raised within you, a conscious call to the divine presence. And when discouragement comes, because it will come, remember, what you declare is what remains. You are not the fear, you are not the doubt, you are the living expression of I am. If this message has spoken to your heart, if it has touched something within you that may have been dormant, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This helps this message of light and awakening reach other people who also need to remember the power that dwells within them. And if you feel you are ready to go deeper, to understand in a practical way how to apply this power of I am in your daily life, click the link in the first pinned comment. There you will find something made for those who have decided to transform faith into real experience. Because the truth is simple, yet powerful. What you declare, you create. And what you feel is true, the universe confirms. You are not learning something new, you are just remembering who you have always been. So go forward. Declare with an awakened heart, I am the divine presence manifesting the best of my life. And watch. Because from this instant, the creative power of God begins to move through you, and nothing will ever be the same.